Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei whisky.de, dem Treffpunkt feiner Geister. Und ich bin heute in Glasgow und zwar an den Glasgow Docks. Und die sind am River Clyde, der dann den Atlantik führt. Und Glasgow war ja schon immer bekannt für ihren Schiffsbau und auch für ihren Hafen. Und hinter mir seht ihr den großen Turm. Das ist der Turm des Pumphauses für die Queen's Docks. Die Queen's Docks waren keine Werft, sondern es war einfach nur ein Handelshafen, wo eben sehr, sehr viele Schiffe angehalten haben und Rum und Whisky und alle anderen Wein und alle anderen möglichen Dinge, die man eben in den Lowlands und Highlands gebrauchen konnte, hier getauscht haben. Und hinter uns ist immer noch die Clyde und es gibt immer noch eine Werft. Hier wird zum Beispiel zurzeit die HMS Glasgow gebaut. Und ja, das Pumpenhaus wurde jetzt umgebaut in eine Brennerei. Und die schauen wir uns heute mal an. Die Brennerei wurde 2017 von Tim Morrison gegründet. Aber die Geschichte fängt viel, viel weiter früher an. Fängt an beim ersten, sehr berühmten Morrison, John Morrison. Er war im Grunde einer der Erbauer von Glasgow. Er war ein Steinmetz oder im Grunde eigentlich schon eher ein Bauherr. Denn er hat das Theater gebaut, das Navigationsbüro Hochhaus, den Merchant Building, also das im Grunde die Handelskammer. Also er hat viele wichtige Gebäude in Glasgow gebaut und auch the Queen's Docks, also die Docks hier. Und dieses Pumpenhaus ist auch von ihm gebaut worden. Das wusste aber Tim sogar gar nicht, als er dieses Gebäude gekauft hat. Und hat später erst herausgefunden, dass im Grunde seine Familie hier auch noch eine ganze Menge Geschichte hier hat. Nach ihm kam dann sein Enkel Stanley Morrison. Und der war im Grunde ein großer Kaufmann. Er war der größte Whisky-Broker, den es gab, der dann eben Whisky aus den Highlands, aus den Lowlands gekauft hat und da eben mit Whisky gehandelt hat und ist eben da sehr reich geworden. Und als er gehört hat, dass Bowmore verkauft wird, das hat er irgendwie so ein bisschen mitbekommen, ist er einfach, hat sich sofort ein Schiff genommen, rausgefahren, hat in die Tür geklopft und gesagt, nö, also ich würde gern mehr bezahlen, ich würde gern Bowmore kaufen. Und hat dadurch Bowmore gekauft, er hat auch einen Toschen gekauft, AD Rattray gekauft und das war damals dann Morrison Bowmore. Später wurden die Destillerien sind dann übergegangen in andere Besitzer. Aber irgendwann hat sich dann Tim Morrison, eben sein Sohn, gesagt, nee, ich will wieder in das Business von Destillation auch mit rein und hat sich gesagt, wir machen jetzt hier in Glasgow, bringen wir mal die Whisky-Produktion zurück und hat gesagt, wir machen die Clydeside Brennerei. Er ist aber schon ein bisschen betagt, also im Rentenalter noch eine Brennerei aufmachen, ist auch eine Geschichte und er hat es aber. Es wird ihm zugeschrieben, aber eigentlich war sein Sohn auch sehr stark damit involviert. Und jetzt ist sein Sohn der im Grunde Managing Director, also der Geschäftsführer der Firma und führt jetzt die Firma im Namen von seinem Vater weiter und ist dann jetzt eben sehr schön hier mit der neuen Clydeside Distille. Und jetzt gehen wir mal hin und gucken uns, wie das ganze Zeug hergestellt wird. Wir fangen an mit dem Wasser. Hinter mir seht ihr Loch Catherine. Das ist 40 Meilen nördlich von Glasgow und versorgt Glasgow mit Wasser. Interessant ist, dass das hier auch von den Morrisons, also damals vom John Morrison, als Bauwerk gebaut wurde. Es ist nämlich ein Reservoir. Er hat vorne im Grunde das Ganze aufgestaut, um den Wasserdruck so weit zu erhöhen, dass man Glasgow sehr gut versorgen kann. Also Glasgow wird mit diesem Wasser versorgt und auch die Clydeside Distillery nutzt dieses Wasser, um ihren Whisky zu destillieren. Die Brennerei hat 4 wichtige Punkte, was den Geschmack ausmacht. Und der erste Punkt, den wir hier haben, ist das Getreide. Das Getreide kommt von 4 Farmen, von 4 Bauernhöfen rund um Glasgow und die versorgen die Brennerei bzw. die Mälzerei vorher mit ihrem Getreide, also können Sie es sehr, sehr schön zurückverfolgen. Hinter mir sehen wir eine doppelte Rollenmühle, mit dem das Malz sehr grob geschrotet werden kann und wir dann im Grunde 1,5 Tonnen Gerstenschrot haben. Jedoch hat die Brennerei 2 Wochen im Jahr eine torfige Saison, wo mit 54 ppm ein richtig torfiger Whisky hergestellt wird. Und danach geht man dann normalerweise gleich irgendwie in Revision, Wartung und eine ganz, ganz großzügige Reinigung. Beim Maischen haben wir hier eine schöne neue Semi-Lauter Mash Tun und sie ist wirklich neu und effizient. Und sie haben 3 Wasser, 65, 77 und 88 Grad Celsius. Und hier wird dann die Stärke aus dem Grieß, aus dem Schrot rausgelöst und durch die Enzyme bei diesen hohen Temperaturen zersetzt in Zucker. Was bei Ihnen sehr, sehr wichtig ist, worauf Sie, das ist wieder ein Eckstein Ihrer Produktion, ist, dass Sie ein Clear Wort machen, also eine sehr, sehr klare Maische. Und das ist dann später für die Fermentation und die Bildung des Geschmacks extrem wichtig. Nachdem wir dann die Hefe hinzugefügt haben, gibt es hier dann die Geschmacksbildung. Normalerweise fermentiert man so um 40 Stunden, um genügend Alkohol zu bekommen, und danach kommt laktobakterielle Fermentation, der dann Geschmäcker kreiert. Und hier fermentieren sie für insgesamt 72 Stunden, ein bisschen so, grobe Richtlinie, 72 Stunden, und da entstehen dann richtig schöne fruchtige und tropisch fruchtige Geschmäcker. Insgesamt haben sie 8 Fermentationstanks, also die Washbags, und die haben dann ein Fassungsvolumen von 7500 Litern. Das ist das, was einmal von der Mash Tun rauskommt und einmal in die Washstill reingeht. Jetzt sind wir hier im wunderschönen Stillhaus der Brennerei und man kann hinter mir sehr schön den Hafen sehen. Echt eins der schönsten Stillhäuser, die es gibt. Aber kommen wir mal wieder zur Technik zurück und wie der Whisky hier besonders kreiert wird. Die Washstill wird mit 7500 Litern aus den Washbags befüllt und ist eine, ich würde mal sagen, relativ normale Washbag. Bei den Washstills passiert auch nicht so viel Richtung Geschmack, da wird erstmal ein Vorprodukt hergestellt. Das Wichtige bei der Produktion ist die Spirit Still. Wir haben einen Reflux Bowl, also ein bisschen Reflux hier, aber ansonsten würde ich auch sagen, ein relativ normal aussehendes Still. Was sie aber hier besonders machen, ist, sie sind einer der langsamsten brennenden Spirit Stills, die es in der Industrie gibt. Sie haben 5 Liter pro Minute. Bei einer Größe von 5000 Litern ist das schon sehr, sehr langsam. Und das ist auch einer ihrer Ecksteine, wieder einer der wichtigen Fokuspunkte bei Ihnen, was Sie produzieren wollen. Denn wenn man langsam destilliert, bekommt man eben diese Fruchtigkeit sehr schön mit, einen leichten Charakter. Also Sie wollen so eine fruchtige, leichte Betonung haben, so einen richtig schönen Lowland-Charakter. Und genau darauf zielen Sie ab. Und das ist dann Ihr New Make, der dann ins Fass kommt. Die Brennerei hat ein kleines Lagerhaus hier in der Brennerei. Unglücklicherweise kann man das als Besucher nicht besuchen. Es ist nämlich ein experimentelles Lagerhaus mit ein paar Geheimnissen, die ich sogar hier nicht filmen durfte. Und ja, hier werden ungefähr 50 Fässer gelagert mit verschiedenen Sachen. Ich habe hier so ein bisschen nur Toni und Champagner und ganz viele verschiedene Dinge. Also wie gesagt, experimentelle Dinge, die dann vielleicht in irgendwelchen lokalen Märkten Einzelfässer sind. Vielleicht kriegen wir auch noch irgendwo ein Einzelfass. Die Hauptanzahl der Fässer geht aber extern, also an Lagerhäuser außerhalb der Stadt, denn in der Stadt ist es doch einfach zu eng, zu teuer für irgendwelche Lagerhäuser und es macht heutzutage außerhalb der Stadt viel mehr Sinn. Was wir haben an so Fässern ist, Sie haben normale Bourbonfässer, dann haben Sie Sherryfässer und Sie haben noch etwas, das nennen Sie Dechar Rechar, einfach ausgekratzte Fässer, nochmal ausgebrannt, um einen neuen Char reinzubringen, also neue Holzkohle, und werden dann wieder befüllt. Ja, das war's mit der Produktion. Jetzt gibt es wieder ein kleines englisches Interview. So this was it with the production, and we're here in a little interview with Alistair MacDonald. You have 41 years of experience with making whiskey, so thank you very much for having us here.
No, you're very welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you, letting you see how a distillery operates right in the centre of Glasgow.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. Were you like the second or third distillery here in the city?
Yeah, well, we're actually we weren't a distillery originally. We were,
Yeah.
the hydraulic pump house, but we built a distillery here in 2017, and we are the first distillery right in the city centre of Glasgow. There's no others around us. You've got Strathclyde at Ballater Street, which is a grain distillery, and then you've got the Glasgow distillery out at Hillington. So we're the first one right in the bang in the centre of the city. For
Is
over 100
distilling
years.
coming back to Glasgow? Is
I
that
hope so,
really
yeah,
like a trend? Is there more coming?
Yeah, I think we've set the benchmark here. We've started to obviously operate from 2017 onwards. So yeah, it'd be nice to see more appear in the distillery. But yeah, we've started that trend of distilleries back in the city, because as you know, there was in the region of 30 distilleries in the city of Glasgow between
30.
the 18 and 1900s.
Okay, yeah, there's a bit of a benchmark.
Yes.
So what kind of range are we trying today?
Yeah, so what we've got is our kind of core range at the moment. You've got our three whiskies here. So we've got Stobcross, and the name Stobcross comes from the area, the location that we're in at the moment. So the area before it became industrial was farmland, so it was a kind of farm estate with a big estate house, and it was Stobcross Estate. So what we're doing
that
here,
was way back in the day.
oh yeah, that was back in the 1800s. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's nice to capture that history with a modern brand, and the name Stobcross was the location. So yeah, more importantly, Stobcross is a marriage of both bourbon and sherry. It's 90% bourbon, 10% sherry, and it's currently it's a no-age statement, but currently sitting just under 6-year-old at the moment.
And I've heard that you have like a lot of symbolism in here, like the warehouses in this what do you call it?
Yes, so on the dock, the original dock, you would have seen the images of this area that we're on at the moment was a working dock, and the warehouses that surrounded the dock. The font has been designed on that particular roof line of the warehouse, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, very nice. And 90% bourbon and 10% sherry.
Yes, it was an interesting one. When we were wanting to release our first whiskey, we tried a few different ratios to see what would work best, but we felt as though, like any more than 10% sherry was more overpowering, so it's more delicate. Yeah, hopefully it's okay for you. Yeah, it's.
I've just had your new make.
Oh yeah.
And it's obviously got a little bit of vanilla character to it and more sweetness to it, but you can see the distillery character with that nice, light, fruity, forward sweetness coming through.
Yeah, I mean, even in our matured, whiskey, the DNA of the Clydeside new make is there. That kind of florals. Really.
I like it when you come out with a new whiskey and you still have a lot of DNA and a lot of distillery character in it. And yeah, it's nice that you only put 10% sherry in it to just show your fruitiness.
Yeah, and that's one thing about bourbon releases for me. Let you see the character of a distillery, whereas sherry and other finishes can maybe hide that character. But I think for all brands, I think it's important that we have a DNA first and foremost, because a lot of new distilleries will maybe do small batch releases and more of a craft style. Here at the Clydeside, it's about trying to create a kind of a whiskey that's recognised within the industry as being consistent, good quality, and you can't do that without carrying your DNA through it. Yeah.
So, pleasure.
Cheers. Cheers.
Really nice, fruity, forward, lowland style whiskey.
Just for this time of day, nice and delicate, easy, fruity, sweet. Just the character, a bit of spice, a bit of white pepper spice towards the end.
Yeah, it has a bit more than the distillery. You do have. I didn't try it that much, but you have the distillery character in there, mixed with a bit of cask, and I like it that you have the distillery character because it's so easy approachable that you can mix it in much more than your usual 60-70% flavors coming from the cask. I would say this is more like a 50-50 one.
Yeah, it's really is. It's wonderful aromas, from the bourbon, as you say. And there's just a richness, slight richness from the sherry as well.
You have a lot from the distillery. You have the bourbon cask a little bit coming in, the sherry cask coming in a little bit in, a little bit different flavors coming from everywhere. So that's a nicely balanced whiskey for just a young one.
Yeah, and obviously, again, it's non-chill filtered, natural colour, and we're sitting at 46% ABV, which we think works very well for our core range. So, but again, it's all about that pure. It's been the natural colour, the non-chill filtered, and doing things that we feel as though is the correct way to do it.
I like it. It's a nice entry whiskey. I would say, it's a bit young. It doesn't have that maturity of an 18-year-old, obviously, but it's very enjoyable. I would say even beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Has a bit of a bready touch to it, mostly sweet touch to it, a little bit of fruit pie or something, fruit crumble, I don't know, somewhere in that region. And I think even people who don't enjoy the Fortnight will be really, really happy with that.
And that's the thing, at the end of the day, we're in the city here, and we want to appeal to all consumers, not just whiskey aficionados. We want people who visit the distillery, being as a city centre attraction as well, to be able to explore the different categories of our whiskey. And I think, as you rightly say, it's a really good introduction to Clydeside as Stobcross.
Just a nice, easy introduction. From what I've seen now with the distillery and a little bit from the history, is it true that you set up the distillery from first spade to something coming out of the stills in 13 months?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was an amazing piece of work, an amazing project, because I don't think there's many distilleries of this size, 850,000 litres capacity size, with a listed building and a visitor centre to be built on the side, to be able to achieve that in 13, 14 months, as you rightly say, with all the challenges that you would have had back in 2016 when we first started right through, it was an amazing, and more importantly as well, I think it went all on budget as well. We didn't really over budget as well. So it's
so no delays, no contractors missing any parts, or.
Yeah, there was a few challenges, as you can imagine. Yeah, so one of the environmental challenges here actually was quite interesting. Is you see the lovely river out here beside us, the River Clyde. So we actually had to stop work for 2 months, no digging work, to allow the salmon to migrate up the river. So there you go, we're looking after the environmental as well. So, but no, really.
How was the heritage of the building, and is it protected or?
Yeah, so it's like a Grade B listed building, and it had to be restored. The visitor centre part had to be restored. The pump house had to be restored back to its natural. And as you can imagine, a building that's there since 1877. It was in a bit of a state of disrepair, and quite a lot of work had to go on to get that back to a really good standard, as you can see today. This part here, the distillery part, was the new part. It was had to look like the extension planning wouldn't allow you to build on a sandstone distillery. It had to be the modern, the glass facade, the zinc clad. And,
you have to see that it's not the same building.
Yes, it's to act as the extension. So that was controlled by planning. But I think, the two of them complement each other. It's a wonderful building. But yeah, an amazing piece of work to fit it into 13, 14 months.
What was your job also setting up the distillery, or was it just when they had first water distilled, then your job starts with making the whiskey?
Yeah, well, my first day here at Clydeside was the day that Forsyth started to do the install of all the pipe work and the distillery plant. The project had already been started from, as I say, the previous year, August 2016. I joined in June 2017, and that was the first day at Forsyth. So I was to oversee, the install. A lot of the design had been done by the time I'd got here. However, there was a lot of tweaks we had to make. So once we had the full install done, around the beginning of October 2017, we then started production, 26th of October 2017. And we'd done about 5 or 6 weeks of production trials, because what we wanted to do is we wanted to, I suppose, experiment with the fermentation, with the mashing styles, with the what your new make spirit was looking like, what the cut points. So we had a good 5-6 weeks of trials of different temperatures and, you know, flow rates and mashing
and different times of like what output.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And you found your new make to be now good after
yes.
6 weeks.
Yeah, it was one that, you know, we had different cut points. We had lower cut points. We had, you know, kind of faster runnings, but I think the main point for us was to run it nice and slow, less than 5 litres a minute while we're on spirit, and have a high cut point, 71% cut point. So that's high for a double distillate, but again, the character that you just mentioned, to me it's a really clean new make spirit. There's no off notes, it's delicate, and it comes across really fruity as you've nosed and tasted.
Okay, so now we had the lighter one. This here looks a bit darker, and it says, I think it says 6 years somewhere here at the back.
Yeah, so it is mentioned on the label.
Is it officially NAS? I mean, you have 6 years on the back, like really small.
Yeah, well,
I would say it's an age statement.
The thing is, it is an unofficial age statement. However, we don't want to stick a number 6 on the bottle. Our first age statement will come out around 12-year-old is the main for a core range. That's what we're looking at. We also wanted to let you know that it isn't a 3-year-old, so the reason being, you know, the sherry does, you know, it's a slower maturation, sherry, but firstly the name Napier, again, it's about the location, it's about the area. So Robert Napier was a famous shipbuilder here on the Clyde, and he was responsible for the Cunard line, some of the high end, and his ethos was all quality, quality, quality. And you can see where we're going with the brand, you know, it's all about that kind of premium single malt, and it's about the quality of our processes, so that kind of fits in very well to Robert Napier's brand as well. So that's where the name Napier comes from.
So is it all in sherry cask?
Yes, so yeah, it's so we're using a cooperage in Jerez called Antonio Paez Labata, APL, and they season the cask, the sherry butts, for 24 months, for 2 years before we actually receive them. And then we're putting our new mixed spirit in at 63.5%, and it's a full sherry maturation. And again, look at that colour, natural colour and non-chill filtration.
I was about to ask that looks a lot darker and natural colour? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So you're going all 46 non-coloured,
46 works very well. And we tried different strengths again, but we felt as though 46 seems to provide the best character from.
So you're doing that on purpose, because I think many smaller companies, they all go, no coloring, no chill filtration. Usually, yes, they probably do it because of quality, but most of them just don't have the equipment. But you don't also have the equipment either?
Yeah, we've got the facility to bottle under filtration if we want chill filtration. We don't do the bottling on site here, we do it at a third party, and they have that facility. However, our preference is capture the flavour that we've created as natural as possible, because you know that's what a lot of your followers want to try, is a natural product, no colour added. And I know in Germany you guys can see it quite easily if the colour's been added, but I think from a consistency point of view, I understand why they use colouring, but from a flavour point of view.
Yeah, that's always with the new customers that are just into the business. After 1 or 2 years, they say, "Hey, wait, this is a different color."
Yeah.
And the expert, they know that the coloring is fluctuating, and they want just a natural product. Yeah. But you got like the servings on the side.
Yeah. Not quite the servings. So obviously the branding is all to do with the shipping colours, the split colours in the ship. And if you look at
it's like a depth line for ship.
So that's the depth line for the ship.
Nice.
So that's not to count how many drams you've had the night before.
I think if you do that with serving, that's not healthy.
It's not a bad serve, is it? No. So the whole brand is about the split colours, about the shipping. I would say the plimsoll line is the red line, the water line on a ship. And when they were loading the ship in the past, once that red line disappeared into the water, your ship was fully loaded. So the plimsoll line, the water line, in fact, you have a look along the river there at the ship, you see the red line, the water line. So it's tying it into the branding of the location again. So
if I look at this and I counted them, I think they are pretty much doubles.
Yeah, they're large measures, that's for sure. Yeah,
they're just doubles.
I've never tried them, but
Okay, so sherry cask 6 years.
Yeah.
And okay, but they are. Oh, you got more of the darker flavors. You got the chocolate notes going on, and very dried fruits, and
I would say your kind of black currant
still
raisins.
bit of that, bit of that. The distillery
DNA is
coming
still
in
there, isn't it? Yeah, you
Yeah.
still catch
It's
that.
really nice to have new make just
to
next
compare.
it.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, you don't need it. You have that probably like every day.
well, we knows the new make most days of the week, to be honest. So no, but you still pick, and I think that's important. You know, you don't want to overpowering new make. However, you still want that character to be there. You don't want to totally lose it.
It feels pretty old. I mean, 6 years is a good time, man.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, that is very round and very easy. That is very
wonderful.
round.
You know, a wonderful expression of a just over 6 years old sherry, full maturation. But again, the quality of the casks. It's all about, you know, the consistency of the spirit.
It has a bit of a velvety, like a rose or like a velvety glove thingy going on. Really, it's not creamy. It's really, but silky smooth in your mouth with a lot of fruity, dark fruity, tropical fruity, all of that kind of fruity, but not as in like fruity gums or I don't know, iron brew.
Yeah. No,
it's more of like a really laid back, like a grapes, like a bit of a wine character as well.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying there on the kind of red wine cognac character. That's what it's like in the finish. It's just that, to me, it's rich, it's fruity, as you rightly say, and then it's still a very, very slight spice, kind of wood spice there as well. But
in the end,
yeah. But I must admit, for me,
I like it that you're going for a lighter lowland style with, and you do like a full maturation, because that is like light and day for these two.
Yeah. And the difference is, you know, obviously this is over 6 years. This has been evolving. When this first came out in October 21, this was just under 4-year-old. This is now 5.5. So we're evolving this. It's getting older. So if you got a bottle of this from our very first release to a bottle now, there's a slight difference in colour and there's a slight difference in flavour, but it's a natural evolving product. We will cap the age at some point, but it's...
Do you have like dates on there?
We can tell, so on the screen print of the etching of the bottle.
Oh, there's an etching there.
Yeah.
You
So
can tell
see
how old your bottle is. This is 23?
Yeah, so 23, that would have been batch. That would have been the latest batch, I would guess. Yeah, so that's over 5 years. Yeah. So
Is it so? But this is core range still evolving.
yes. So this
Is the Napier going to be that way, or are you still going to tweak it?
No, we're going to try and keep it as natural as possible, and it's quite challenging to do, but we'll potentially keep it around the 6.5.
Oh, you want to keep it at 6.5,
so
somewhere around there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've actually worked with what do you call it? With Bowmore, and I had Eddie McAffer and David Turner. Were they like your bosses, or you were their bosses, or?
No, Eddie was the distillery manager at the time. I was there as a distillery engineer.
Okay.
And then I became distillery manager at Auchentoshan, and then David became distillery manager at Bowmore. So we were colleagues. We worked.
Okay.
We met. We had meetings regular every month. We would have distillery managers meeting. It would be at Bowmore. It would be at Auchentoshan. It would be in Ireland at Cooley. You know, so we had a kind of.
Are you an Islander?
Yes, I'm originally from Bowmore.
Oh, okay,
I'm
nice.
From Bowmore
Nice.
as well. So grew up.
So, and you moved now here to Glasgow?
Yeah, so back in 1984, I had no passion for whiskey, I'll be honest. I couldn't stand the smell of it, never mind the taste. However, I wanted a kind of career in engineering, and the distillery was an opportunity, so they were looking for a distillery engineer, an apprentice engineer. So I started at Bowmore, started my apprenticeship under James McEwen, master blender Jim McEwen, and after a year, I wanted to get my college, my paperwork, and I couldn't do that very easily from Isla on day release, as you can imagine, the travelling. So I got the opportunity to move to Glasgow and finish my apprenticeship, potentially with going back to Bowmore once my apprenticeship was up and taking over from the engineer there. However, bright city lights and football and all these sort of things was too strong a draw to keep me in Glasgow, so I didn't go back to Ireland, unfortunately, to work, but I became distillery engineer at Auchentoshan, done that for 12, 13 years, and then secured a role as a distilleries engineer, which was covering Bowmore, a week at Bowmore, a week at Auchentoshan, a week at Glengarry, and a week in head office here in Glasgow. So that was my kind of remit. And I'd done that right up until 2011, and in your appraisal, there's always that future career progression, and I wanted to either run engineering or be involved in distillery production. So I got a call asking me was I interested in distillery production, and I asked why, and they were looking for a distillery manager role at Auchentoshan, so I was successful to get that role, and I'd done distillery manager from 2011 till 2017 at Auchentoshan Distillery.
So you know the in and outs of like all the workings at a distillery.
Yeah, from a technical point of view, it was easy because you were involved with.
You started like engineering, not just like with the shoveling.
Oh, I've done a bit of that as well. Yeah. You had to help out when times were tough. I remember having to help out in the malt barns. You had to help out in the warehouse.
Oh, you did all the other parts as well.
Yeah, you helped there, and then.
Because I can remember, like it was 10 years ago when I did the interview with Eddie, and he said, "Yeah, I started shoveling there. Yeah, I just went down there. Can I get a job? Yeah, we do shoveling," and he worked his way up to the very top.
Yeah, we helped. We used to put out the floors at Bowmore, the malt floors, and we helped. I remember being at Glengarry and we were putting the steeps out, shoveling out the steeps. So you had to muck in as an engineer and as a young guy, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know the ins and outs of everything to can fix everything.
and that was a good thing. It gave you a really good experience, especially having 3 different styles of distilleries as well: the Lowland, the Highland, and
they're really
the Isla. So and there was different kind of processes went on. So it was a really good understanding for me, I think, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And then in 2017, I seen this lovely new distillery. And
so how tough is it? I mean, Bowmore is all peat. Auchentoshan is no peat. How tough is it to have like peat and non-peat in one distillery?
It's not tough. It's quite exciting actually. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I suppose the 2 weeks that we do fortnight here at home. It makes me a wee bit homesick, I suppose, the smell of the peat coming from Isla. But no, it's nice to be able to have that added, into your portfolio.
But is it then like 2 weeks of fortnight and then it's another week of cleaning, or is that?
And we tend to do the fortnight before our distillery shut down, so we'll get enough time to clean it and make sure it's nice and clean for starting back up for these guys.
Yeah, I've heard that the industry at some distilleries, some newer distilleries, is changing. They just do we do peat and then we just do something in between while the peat just dissipates.
Yeah, and that's one thing we always market. We'll mark it up that the week after peat, just in case there's anything does get through, that there's that hint. But we so far
you have them in the computer. These casts are from after peat season.
The week after peat, just in case. Yeah, but no, it tends to be fairly clean. Yeah.
54 Highland peat. Okay.
So it's interesting. Really we never managed to get any Isla peat, but we got peat from the northern peat moss in the islands, and it's.
I think the Highland peat is more floral, more like herby and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
it may just work better with your kind of style.
And that's it. It's not got the same medicinal notes. It's not the same iodine. It's what I would say is more of a campfire kind of peat, but still quite intense.
It does have a good amount of campfire, but it's not like pure Highland peat. It does have a bit of a dry phenolic taste to it, not that much.
Yeah.
But it has quite a lot of peat.
yeah. No, it's quite intense, and the spirit, as the DNA is very light. You probably not pick up the DNA very easily because of the peat aroma now. Because
it is pretty strong.
Yeah.
You do have it, but more as a note, as in like the whole
background,
deal.
Yeah.
More of a note in the background. Yeah, and it's drier, and like a campfire, I would say.
Yeah.
Cheers. Really, really good.
The one thing that jumps out at me right away, it's a sweet peat.
It is.
Yeah, really sweet. You get real sweet notes, which peat doesn't normally tend to give you. Normally you get that kind
It has a sweetness. It has a bit of a heathery note to it. Obviously a smoky note.
Yeah.
But with that heathery note to it. It's strange that they have so much heather on Islay and their peat is not like heathery.
No, it's very, very medicinal.
You get the Highland peat.
Yeah.
Is there something like a lowland peat?
I'm sure there is somewhere, but
but they all get it from the Highlands.
We all do get it from the Highlands, but I think it would be nice to be able to, here at Clydeside, potentially one day, is to have an Islay peat and just compare if we do a wee limited editions of something from an island peat, not for
maybe
the
a couple
range.
of days before revision.
Yeah.
And then have a few experimental casts. No, I like it. It's strange that it's smoky, but it's not so fading away, tons and tons of smoke for hours. It feels like the smoke is fading away more quickly, but it's still intense. It's a 54 and you can feel that it's a 54.
And I think it's nice to be able to bring something like that to our core range that has got nothing to do with the lowlands, It's an Islay theme, the peating, and or even Highland, but to have a lowland peated style, it's just quite different. And again, have a look at the colour. A lot of people may be put off with how light in colour it is, but you see the flavour that's coming through there. Don't let that worry. But that is natural colour, and that's from a refill barrel. So that wasn't even a bourbon barrel. We did some into bourbon just as a trial, just to see how it went, and we felt it was a bit more rounded. But this actually gives more of the peaty character, which.
So what is up for the future of the core range? Are you going to add more or are they just going to evolve, or what are you thinking?
The plan is to have a kind of, I suppose, a limited annual release of a really complex whiskey, and that will be part of the core range. And we've laid down casks, and we're working on that at the moment with Callum to try and create something that is really complex for your real whiskey aficionado, and we can tell you that is going very well at the moment. I don't want to give too much away on it, but it's definitely a multitude of different casks and different marriages, and then a final finish. So we're hoping to release that next October. Potentially next October for bottle release, but we'll have the last finishing starting towards the end of this year. So
you're really working on expanding the range for the next years. So I guess this is a good range.
I should mention at this point as well, the plans for our first core age statement is going to be a 12-year-old, apparently, not a 10. Yeah, so that's.
It's going to take you probably another half a decade or something.
Yeah, so that's where we are, and I think it's really nice to be able to have that.
And I like it. I'm excited about how the Napier will taste, or something similar to it will taste in, like, I don't know, an 18-year-old. That would be crazy. What kind of style that would be.
And that's one thing, we're laying down a lot of stock, to carry forward for the older age statements, because nothing worse being a distillery manager and getting to 21-year-old and not having any product. So we want to make sure that we're laying down plenty of stock to have, as you say, an 18, 21-year-old full maturation, or whatever it may be.
But you're built in 2017, so I think your range is pretty good. Are there other like special bottlings already?
Yeah, so we've got some limited editions. The first one we were in the Climate Change Conference, COP26 was here, so that was our kind of first. We've done a kind of 2023 limited edition. We've done various different kind of limited editions. We've done one for HMS Glasgow, which was a ship that was getting built on the river, so you'll see that down the stair, which was actually a rum finish, 2018, finished in rum for about 2 years. Which was an incredible. We've done one for across the road. You'll see SWG3. It was their 20th anniversary, where you see all the art on the street art on the walls there. We did a Velvet Odyssey, which was a PX finish. So we've done that for them. And what Callum's been doing is, for our markets, we're doing a lot of single cask finishes for DD Alba and Corinne Alba, yeah, and various other markets as well. So these guys
I think we also had, I'm not quite sure, I don't want to ask them to advertise it too much, but because I think we're sold out. That's what happens when the stuff's good.
Well, we've got one that's up and coming, probably by the time.
Yeah, I think we'll get through the usual channels. We do get the special bottlings at some point.
So we've got one special bottling, a 2026 limited edition, which is coming out next month. This month, sorry. We're into this month already. So it's coming out this month, and it's see if you can work it out. It's been some American bourbon whiskey matured since 2018, and we've split it. We've put some into a Mexican tequila cask and some into a Canadian rye cask. So you've got an American, Canadian, and a Mexican.
So North America edition.
Yeah, for the World Cup.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to call it World Cup, obviously, but it's just as a nod towards the World Cup, and it's Scotland qualifying first time since 1998 in a major World Cup tournament. Yeah. So
wait, that means that Celtic and Rangers and maybe Hearts is playing together?
Yes. They'll be contributing to hopefully get us through the group stage for the first time in a long time. But
that would be nice.
More importantly, it's a good quality liquid again. So basically, what we've done is we've taken the bourbon, we've finished it in two separate casks, a tequila and a Canadian rye, and we're marrying the two of them together at the end. And what we've got is this wonderful liquid. You know, it's only went into the finishing cask beginning of February this year, so it's only a couple of months finishing. But I'll give you a wee taste of that, and it's worth looking at. Only 580 bottles, unfortunately. So
subscribe to our newsletter if you want to get the updates on that one, because if we have in our shop, it'll come through the new items newsletter.
Yeah. So we don't know if we're going to manage to distribute it to markets like Germany yet. However, the plan is to have it here at the distillery, available at the distillery.
And you can do tours here at the distillery?
Oh yes, 7 days a week we're open. We can do everything from a standard tour to a whiskey and chocolate tour to a blender's tour, making your own blend here in this particular room, or a distillery manager's tour that you can do every Thursday afternoon as well.
Okay, so if you're ever in the Glasgow area, stop by at the Clydeside here at the harbour. And thank you very much, Alistair.
You're very welcome. Thank you. A pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Really nice tasting. And if you found these whiskies interesting, then have a look at the whisky.de and whisky.com shop. You will find them there. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.